This is a story which actually is very true. It's about a woman who lives alone in her home, and for 6 months to a year, she has been sensing she is no longer alone. But what she's been sensing is not human, but spirit. She won't sleep in her own bed, neither will she sleep in the other bed. Because when she goes into either of the two beds, she gets extremely apprehensive, scared. She can sense a foreboding as if there's something dark and sinister in both bedrooms. And so when she sleeps on the sofa. It's obvious that this woman is suffering from having an unpleasant spirit in her home, because the first sign and clue of an unpleasant spirit is the feeling of apprehension when she goes towards any of the two rooms she has as bedrooms. She says she doesn't mind, but it's obvious she does, because she doesn't want to reveal that she's frightened. And so I will reveal to you what is actually happening. Do I know this woman? I will give you something that will give you an understanding. I've encountered her, which means I don't necessarily know her. She's the kind of woman who likes to express her opinion in a non-diplomatic fashion, if you get my meaning. She doesn't hold her punches when she expresses how she feels about you, but in my case, how she felt or feels towards me. She took a dislike to me immediately when I encountered her. But every time I listen to her and see her, it's like your skin is crawling if you were someone to be fearful of this woman. But I allowed her to express herself, and she ranted on for about 15 minutes with insults. One, she doesn't know me. Two, she has no idea where I live. Three, she has no idea who I am and what I do for a living. She took it upon herself to insult me. All I did was I questioned her so-called ability and skill to give a competent tarot card reading. And ever since, she's been having a go. But I allow her to have a go. But getting back to the eerie feeling that she feels in her home, is it one spirit or two or many? Sometimes it wakes her up during the morning. Sometimes the doorbell or the knock on the door will ring. Sometimes she wakes up with the kettle whistle blowing because for some strange reason it's boiling, because the spirit that is present in her home is there to annoy her and punish her. A torture, so to speak, because at the end of the days, I didn't ask to be insulted. She didn't ask me, do I like being insulted, demeanored? And so, I choose not to do anything verbally or physically. Let's just say the spirits that are in her home, I put them there because I have a very simple philosophy in life. Piss me off and I'll shove a spirit on you. If you insult me, the spirit will take care of your unpleasantness. If you do things which I consider to be not only inappropriate towards myself, but towards other people, other words, if you're an arrogant, conceited, stupid, low-grade moron, you will suffer. A lot of you people listening to this audio recording will consider my actions to be inappropriate. But at the end of the day, isn't her actions that much worse? True, two wrongs don't make a right. But if I don't do nothing to her, she'll continue. And so she's presently experiencing sleeplessness, headaches, unpleasantness. But she will always tell people she's a nice, gentle person. But I know different. I know what she's like. And so she will be suffering for the rest of her days. Because I know for a fact from listening to other people as they communicate it with her, that she's injected her BS into them. And so in turn, they have took it upon themselves to insult me. So yes, now they're experiencing the same thing. Because at the end of the day, who wants to go through life carrying stress? Who wants to go through life where people view themselves as nice, decent individuals, but insult people for the fun of it? What kind of person or persons gets off in handing out salts? I mean, these are truly trolls. Their life is without purpose unless they insult someone. And so, she's now, after a few months, experiencing the spirit and spirits I've placed in her home, which cannot be removed, as I'm a great sorcerer. And to remove it, you need to vaporize it. But first, to vaporize it, you need to establish what kind of spirit it is, what is its power, what is its authority, and what is the authority and power of the individual that put it there. So once you've evaluated and examined the spirit, you then need to go and find out who put it there in the first place. Because before you can remove the spirit, you have to, in a sense, attack me, punish me, view me as my behaviour unacceptable. They'll do this because they don't know the full facts. That's what dumbasses do. And so no doubt that person will come looking for me. What a joy that will be for me, but not for them. And they will examine me and realise that I can't do nothing about it. Because I know before they made their first step, before they put their brain in gear, before they made their first mistake, that I have an ace up my sleeve. I'm a great sorcerer. I deal in dark energy and positive energy. And so this woman will tell people what she experiences. Then she'll tell them that it doesn't bother her. But then again, she'll say that she doesn't mind if they stay in her home but don't make any noise. But by making a noise, it's bothering her because she's talking about it. She did say someone banged into a kitchen table or walked into a kitchen table. Actually, spirits are not blind. They didn't walk into it, they shoved it or kicked it. So I can imagine what her nightmares are like. She's probably been chased by either a black wolf or a number of black hounds. She's probably finding herself drowning in water. Or the worst scenario is, she's been dragged out of her cottage in the 16th century, taken through a gauntlet of people, tied to a wooden stake, kindling placed at her feet. And obviously these people are going to have a barbecue because they're going to burn her as a witch. These nightmares will go on for eternity. They will never stop. I didn't ask to be insulted. She chose to take it upon herself in her arrogance, in her conceited behaviour, in her reality where she views herself as a nice, gentle, nice person, hand out insults. So I am defending myself. At the end of the day, it's, if your neighbour keeps vandalising your car and you do nothing, then you're an idiot. Everyone has the right to defend themselves. Only difference is in my case, you piss me off and I'll shove something evil on you. It doesn't make me an evil person, it just makes me a lot more powerful to avoid, not to hand out insults to. So those of you that's listening to this audio recording, you can either view me as evil or someone who's not prepared to be a doormat for someone. Because when a human gets stressed out, they create negative energy. This negative energy creates a distortion around their aura. So life becomes harder to cope with. Headaches, migraines, nausea, sleeplessness. So I protect my energy with whatever means I have at hand. So another recording, as I am SV Dagan,